All right, good morning, everyone. We are here. All right, good morning, everyone. Yes, I am Sadler. Welcome, everybody. Yes, I am Sadler, the Pat McAfee Show. As you can see, I got my hat this time on the Pat McAfee Show as well. Yes, I'm going to have some more of these coming out for me to wear. And yes, I will be doing a special video of this with a song that Pat himself did called Doogie. This is just a little taste. I'm going to use a couple of seconds because of the copyrights. That's all I can do because of copywriting, but that's a little taste of the song. But anyway, we got a lot of sports to get into. We got a lot to get into today. We got college football we got to talk about. We got NFL to talk about. We got bowl games to talk about. We got a lot to talk about and a lot to get into, everyone. That is right. We got a lot to get into, so let's dive right into ESPN. And yes, of course, if you don't have the ESPN app, make sure you download the ESPN app. I just upgraded mine to the unlimited. So now I can get more access to the sports side of ESPN app as well. So now, let's get into it. We're going to start off with the recap of this past weekend. Yes, we had the title games this past weekend, everyone. That's right, we had conference titles this past weekend. And yes, my holidays this past week was wonderful. I had a great Thanksgiving with my girlfriend, Kayla, and her family. And I do want to thank her family. I'm not going to say names because they don't want me to see it, but I do want to thank my girlfriend's entire family for having me over for Thanksgiving. I love you guys and thank you so much for having me come. Okay, now I got to dive right in. I'm going to go start from week 15, week 14, then I go right into the title games this past weekend. And the one game we have this weekend. Okay, of course we know we're going to go right into the Tulane beating Charlotte 27 to nothing. SMU lost California 38-35, 27 Virginia from over Virginia Tech. USC did beat UCLA 29-10. Vanderbilt 45 to 24 over Tennessee. And yes, this is the week of that. The week I'm going over is the week of rivalry week. BYU just took out USF 41-21. Notre Dame takes Stanford out 49-20. LSU takes Oklahoma beats LSU by a low margin, 17-13. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later because I'm going to mention Alabama in a little bit as well. Oregon beats Washington 26-14, 49. Zip, of course, West Virginia loses to Texas Tech. They stay undefeated. Ohio State as well, 27-9. And then Bama 27-20. Which means they got into the playing the title game. I'll go into that in just a minute to go over. Arizona State 23-7. Arizona wins out. Utah beats Kansas 31-21. Ole Miss beats Mississippi State 38-19. The Dogs of Georgia wins 16-9 to Georgia Tech. Purdue loses to Indiana 56-3. So we all know what that means. Yes, Purdue is not bowl eligible. And Texas Longhorns upset Texas A&M at home, 27-17. I know that because my girlfriend and her aunt/mother was at the game, and yes, they enjoyed that game for sure. Being Longhorns fans, and yes, I got to go to a Texas Longhorn game myself the weekend prior. The Texas Longhorns, Arizona, and the Arkansas Razorbacks. It was a good game, but we got to get back into it. We got to go over now. We need to go over past weekend's game. That's right. We had the Titans Texas loses to Tulane 34 to 34 to 21. James Madison beats Troy 31 to 14. I'll go to the Bama one in a minute because that one is a bummer for me. In overtime, Duke beats Virginia 2020. Is Red Raiders. Ohio. That's right. Indiana. Yes, they just struggle pretty much throughout the entire game. I'll start off with that broad punt. Okay, now this weekend we have one game in particular on Saturday at 2 in the afternoon. And of course, this is one of the best games there is in college football at this time of the year. That's why the Army and Navy game, everyone. The Army and Navy game will be this Saturday at 2 o'clock on CBS. And Navy is favored by 6.5 points from the ESPN bet. So we got ball games to go over, folks. That's right. South Carolina State is in the cricket celebration ball with prior review, and that's 11 o'clock game on ABC on the 13th of this month, which is just days away for that one. And then we got Boise State taking on Washington as the Butt Up LA Bowl at 7 o'clock on ABC as well, also on the 13th. So make sure you check your calendar for all that. We got Troy and Jackson State going at it in the link to the Veterans Bowl on Tuesday, the 16th at 8 o'clock in the evening on ESPN. Old Dominion will take on South Florida Bulls in the Staff DNA Global at 4 o'clock Eastern on a Wednesday on ESPN. All right, I gotta stop right there because I remembered this is how ball games used to be back in the day when I was younger. Usually, all the games would be played all at once on one day, and that's New Year's Day. That's one of the best things about New Year's Day is watching all the ball games all at once. But now they spread it out to the point that we're even using bowl games as playoff games now. Yes, playoff games. Bowl games are using the playoff games. And even if you lose a game in a playoff game, you don't get a regular bowl game. If let's see Alabama loses to Oklahoma, that the game they play right now is not a bowl game. But if they lose, they should still get a bowl, even if they lose. If your team loses in the playoff game, they should still get a bowl game because they're bowl eligible. That's the only thing that should be done. They should add that to the CFB rules and regulations, and put that into the freaking committee's minds. You gotta give them a bowl game, even if they lose a freaking playoff game. All right, back to it. We got Louisville taking on Delaware in the 68th Veterans Bowl on Wednesday, the 17th at 7:30 p.m. on ESPN. Missouri State will take on Arizona State on ESPN2 at 8 on a Thursday night on the 18th. Alabama will get another chance to take on Oklahoma in the first round of the playoff round, first round of the playoff round. And that's the Friday night game on the 19th at 7 o'clock on simulcast, ESPN and ABC. Kennesaw State will take on West Michigan on Friday, 10 a.m. So make sure you have a cup of coffee and your breakfast and your lunch ready for that one on ESPN. Make sure now, got Memphis taking on North Carolina State at 1:30 in the afternoon. Oh, and that the Kentucky game, that's the Myrtle Beach Bowl. The Union Home Mortgage Cash Bowl. That one is the 1:30 game on ESPN with Memphis and North Carolina State. Miami would take on Texas A&M on simulcast on ESPN and ABC at 11 a.m. on Saturday in the college football playoff first round. Okay, and then Tulane would take on Ole Miss in the college, and also in the first round playoff as well. And this is a simulcast as well on more three different platforms. You got TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. For that game, we got James Madison of Oregon. Yes, that's right. James Madison in the playoffs. This is one of the first teams that our college team. There's not much of a team, but not like a D1, D2. Especially when it comes to play, even though they have been playing really. Yes, I need my skills. I've gone and keep myself energized to give you the sports that I need to give you. That way I can get make a living. And hey, they have great flavors and I love them all. Oh, that's good. Okay, now we got the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. That's like a big potato. It's so big, and it's a truck to carry it. Anyway, guys, we'll be Washington State taking on Utah State at 11 a.m. I see a 1 a.m. game on ESPN on a Monday, December the 22nd. That's the Monday prior to Christmas. And for those of you who celebrate Christmas, but if you don't, it's Ramadan, or if you are Jewish and you celebrate Hanukkah, same date, by the way. Anyway, 23rd, or whatever holiday you celebrate in your family. Anyway, we got Toledo taking on Louisville and the Boca Raton Bowl at 1 a.m. 1 p.m. On ESPN on Tuesday the 23rd, 2 days prior to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and day of Christmas Eve. Then we have the Western Kentucky taking on Southern Miss in the New Orleans Bowl, also on Tuesday at 4:30 in the afternoon on ESPN. We got the Scottish Coffee Frisco Bowl, and that will be the Ohio taking on UNLV at 8 o'clock on that Tuesday night on ESPN as well. Excuse me. California will take on the Hawaii in the Satan Hawaii Bowl, which is ironic because that's basically going to be a home game for Hawaii. On Wednesday, Christmas Eve, Wednesday night on Christmas Eve, at 7 p.m. If you want to watch that game, of course, most of you will be celebrating the holiday, depending on your holiday that you celebrate. But if you don't celebrate the holiday, you can definitely watch this game. But I don't go too far in the holiday because I know people have their own beliefs, and I don't want to go into all that. But anyway, we got South Michigan taking on Northwestern in the game above Sports Bowl. And that's up my alley because this is the only sports show. The only sports. On Friday noon, on the day after Christmas, at noon, on the Friday at noon on ESPN. So if you're not looking on to the after, which I will be doing, I'll be taking that day off myself, so I'll be doing my episodes as well with my other job, but I will be doing this one for sure. Also, the same day, at 3 in the afternoon on ESPN, we have Minnesota taking on New Mexico in the Lake Bowl. UFIU is right, FIU, also known as Jim Weller's College. taking on UTSA in the Surrey First Responders Bowl at 7 o'clock on ESPN. Pittsburgh would take on East Carolina at 11 a.m. on that Saturday at 10 in the morning on ESPN. Penn State and Clemson would go at it. Oh, that's a good one for sure. ABC, 11 a.m. on that same Saturday morning. And the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. And then Army would take on UConn at 1:15 in the afternoon, same day on ESPN. And there will be the Fenway Bowl. Of course, it's a Fenway, so I imagine that game will be played at Fenway Park. BYU will be playing Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, 2:30 on ABC. And yes, that one I'm definitely going to be watching because it's going to be definitely yummy at the end. I wonder what filet we're going to be for this year as the players get to eat. And the Pop-Tart mascot goes down into the life-size toaster oven, the life-size pop-up toaster, and let's see which flavor comes out on the other end. Okay, now we also have the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. That's right, Snoop Dogg has his own bowl. 3:30 on the CM network with Miami of Ohio taking on the Fresno State. North Carolina State will take on San Diego State in the New Mexico Bowl on ESPN at 4:45. Virginia would take on Missouri at 6:30 on ABC in the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. LSU and Houston would go at it at 8:15 the same night on the 27th at ESPN in the Kansas Texas Bowl. Which I want because it's Houston, Texas is playing in this game. We got Georgia Southern taking on App State in the Julian Birmingham Bowl, which is good to play my home state of Birmingham, Alabama, in Birmingham. So if you want to go to that game, make sure you get your tickets now. Tickets are all available for all these games, so make sure you go to SeatGeek. You get your tickets. That's where I go. That's where I use SeatGeek. SeatGeek. And SeatGeek.com, depending on how you get your tickets on SeatGeek. Also, I got Cultural taking on Louisville State at 1 in the afternoon on ESPN. And that is the Wirecrest Radiance 10 Microgroups Independence Bowl. Tennessee would take on Illinois in the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl at 4:30 on ESPN. And the Coastal Carolina game is a 1 o'clock game on ESPN as well on that Thursday on the day before New Year's Eve, which is a Thursday as well. And then we got USC taking on TCU at 8 o'clock on ESPN, and that is the Alamo Bowl. I definitely look forward to this one on Wednesday, 2 o'clock on ABC. We got Michigan taking on the Longhorns of Texas in the Cheez-It Bowl as well. We got Iowa taking on Vandy in the Wirecrest Bowl at 11 o'clock on ESPN. Yes, I know the Badgers had that game, bowl game many years ago, but yes, you all know they are not eligible for a bowl game. Anyway, Arizona State will take on Duke on CBS on Wednesday at 1 in the afternoon. In the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, because they are, and we all know they are great. Okay, we have Ohio State. They're going to be is the qualifying bowl is player qualifier at the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at 6:30 in the afternoon, 6:30 in the evening on ESPN on New Year's Eve. That one is yet to be determined. The winners of these games will take on the we got at the Capital One Orange Bowl with the qualifier with Texas Tech will play at 11 a.m. on New Year's Day. Indiana will do the same at 3 o'clock on ESPN as well, and the qualifier as well in the Rose Bowl. At the Rose Bowl, presented by by, see here. We got Rice taking on Texas Tech. Noon on the 2nd of January of 2026. In the Lockheed Mountain Armed Forces Bowl. We got a 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, Navy taking on Cincinnati in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl at 3:30 in the afternoon. Yes, we got a lot of afternoon games on weekdays, not just Friday, but Saturday, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays as well. That also includes games that are not even on the holiday itself. Christmas and Thanksgiving. Christmas and New Year's. And now we got Arizona taking on SMU in the Trust and Will Holiday Bowl. And then to wrap it up, we have Wake Forest taking on Mississippi State at 7 p.m. on ESPN in the Duke Mayo Bowl. And I'm definitely looking for the Duke Mayo Bowl because we all know the winning coach did this heads dunked in mayonnaise. And of course, we got on the 8th of January, we got the semifinals for the Fiesta Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl as well. And then, of course, you got the title game on the 19th of Monday at 6:30 on ESPN. The Friday game for the Chick-fil-A at 6:30 on ESPN, and same thing for the Thursday one on ESPN for the Fiesta Bowl. So let me go back to Bama. I want to find Bama because Alabama has one as well. Yes, Alabama does play. I believe we get the. I believe we are going to be in the Rose Bowl. Even though she got Oklahoma. Okay, now let's go into the CFB, shall we? I basically gave you those already, but if you want to check those out, make sure you definitely go. And yes, OKC is favored by only half a point. And Miami and Texas A&M at 11 a.m. on ABC ESPN on the 20th. Texas A&M is favored by 4 points. Ole Miss is favored by 17.5 against Tulane on the simulcast HBO True TV Max. James Madison is the underdog by 3-1.5 to the Oregon. Of course, I figured that because James Madison is not as good as Oregon. Basically, the total opposite. And the other three have yet to be determined because those have not yet been picked for the other team they've been playing against. But if you want to do that, make sure you check the bracket out. In fact, let me check out the bracket, shall we? So this is how you're going to go. The winner of James Madison Oregon will take on Texas Tech. The winner of Bama Oklahoma at the Rose Bowl will take on Indiana. And then the winner of Tulane and Ole Miss will take on Georgia. The winning team of Miami and Texas A&M will take on the Ohio State, and then of course the two winners from the Georgia-Ohio State game will play each other. Same with Indiana and Texas Tech game. We'll play each other. And then, of course, after that, those two winners there will go to the title game for the championship game. That's how it's broken down. So, yes, we do have WWE coming up. And, yes, this Saturday is WWE Saturday Night Main Event. And, yes, I'm sorry to say it is the final match. The retirement match of John Cena. That will be his final match of his in-ring career. So I congratulate John Cena for his career. I watched you throughout your entire career. You follow me back on X, which I love that you do. And hope one of these days I get to meet you in person. And maybe even grab a bite to eat, or maybe even hit the gym together. We'll see what we can do. Okay, we got. I know you do have to go into the NBA because we do have NBA games. But I only got 2 games tonight. And yes, it is Tuesday, so we know what that means. Prime TV, Prime Video games. These games are the only 2 games that are being played tonight, and are both on Prime Video. And we have the Heat taking on the Knicks. The Heat taking on the Magic, and the Knicks taking on the Raptors. And this is the quarterfinals of the NBA Cup. Okay, this is what my prediction for these 2 games is the Knicks. Raptors, I pick the Knicks. I'm going to the Heat over the Magic. For the Heat and the Knicks to go out in the title game for that cup. And then after that, they would get back to the next round of the quarterfinals. We'll have the Spurs taking on the Lakers, Suns taking on the Thunder, and both course games will be on Prime Video. 6:30 for the Thunder game. Lakers game at home will be at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, of course. Of course, 9 o'clock on Wednesday. Yes, you know that because that's out west. And then after that, back to Thursday on the 11th, we will be back to regular season play. And it looks like Harper spoils Queen's possible a triple double in the rookie clash. Ooh, that was a good game. And yes, let's see here. We do have. If you don't have that new ESPN app, make sure you do download that app. And yes, we are about to go into the new year, which means we got NASCAR going to be picking up again. And of course, this week we do have the college football awards coming up. We also have the Saturday. We also have the Heisman Trophy Award being awarded this Saturday to the. Well, I got both those candidates, and I'll do that in just a minute. Okay, let's do a little college ladies hoops. We got only 2 games tonight: Alabama State and Baylor on ESPN2. That's 11 this afternoon, which is about to tip off. And we got Omaha taking on Nebraska and Big Ten at 7 o'clock. And yes, we are ready to get into the playoffs. Why not? College volleyball. Mm-hmm. Men's college hoops, we got a handful of games tonight. We got Villanova taking on Michigan on FS1 at 5:30. Also 5:30, got BYU taking on Clemson, and that is the Jimmy V presentation presented by Mimbolo Ultra. We got MD Eastern taking on Virginia on ACC Network. Actually, SEC Extra. On Pico, we got Ohio State taking on Illinois. UConn taking on Florida on ESPN, and that's at 8. And the Peacock one is at 6:30. And yes, we have hockey heating up, everybody. That's right. NHL hockey, and of course, go get college hockey. Oh, yeah, that's good. And it looks like the Bruins McCaffrey is about to make his return after McCaffrey. The Bruins McCaffrey is about to return after a face injury. And it looks like Daly, DALY, NHL players won't play in the big games because of ice unsafe. Well, if you want to check that out, make sure you have that ESPN app and check that if you want more on that. Okay, tonight we got the Lightning taking on the Canadiens at 6 at ESPN Plus, as well as the Devils taking on the Senators on True and Max, on TNT and Max. We got the Islanders taking on Golden State. We have the Sharks taking on the Flyers on ESPN Plus. We got Ducks and Penguins. We got the Blue Jackets taking on the Hurricanes. And now is ESPN Plus and Hulu for that one. The Bruins taking on the Blues and Plus. And the Sharks and the Jets. And of course, you can watch a lot of these games on the ESPN app as well. Got the Sailors taking on the Oilers as well, and that's at 8 o'clock. Jets is at 7 for that one. The Avalanche taking on the Predators at 8:30. True TV, TNT, and Max as well for that one. For the hockey games for tonight's games. Okay, let's talk NFL, shall we? Let's first go over this past weekend's games of the NFL. We'll start off with the last Thursday night's game with the Lions and the Cowboys. And that was a Lions victory, 30-44. And yes, the Packers did beat the Bears, 28-21. And we all know that the Bears still suck. The Dolphins beat the Jets, 34-10. Steelers takes out the Ravens, 22-27. Ooh, Saints actually got a win for a change. 24-20. Jaguars beat the Colts 36-19. I'll drop back more of that one in a little bit. Because, yeah, we have an injury I got to talk about. Titans beat the Browns 29-31. And the Vikings beat the Goosehead to the Commanders 31-zip. Seahawks beat the Falcons handily 37-9. Bills beat the Bengals at home 39-34. Raiders lose at home against the Broncos 24-17. Of course, the Rams beat the Cardinals 45-17 as well. Texans beat Kansas City 20-10. And last night, the Eagles beat the Eagles loses to the Chargers in overtime at 19-22. And that's the one with the Monsters Inc. game. But I want to talk about this Chiefs game, shall we? Guys, yes, because of with the Kansas City Chiefs losing off the other day, this past Sunday, they're one game behind. They're one game under 500. I can't even remember the last time the Chiefs was this bad and being one game, not above 500, but under 500. It's been a while since the Chiefs has been under 500. Being 6-7 with a percentage of 4.62 and a PF of 315 and a PA of 256. That is low, and that's next to the last place. To the Raiders with a 2-11 record. That's not good. I'm afraid that this dynasty could be over. Is it? Do you see this Kansas City Chiefs dynasty to be dead? It's starting to fade, including the playoff chances. Could this be the year that they do not get in the playoffs for the first time in a long time? Hey, they were in the last 3 Super Bowls in a row. Last year, the year before that. And they won 2 of those. The first 2. Going into the potential 3-peat, even though they blew that one to the Eagles. Okay, now I want to break down the Bears and the Packers. And yes, looks like the Chicago Bears are finally are contenders. Excuse me. And with that win, yes, the Green Bay Packers are in first place in the NFC. Even with that tie game in the tie, even if the tie was a loss, that would have been then that would have counted towards I guess them a little bit because that would be a tie for the top seed. But look, they got that tie, and with that they got the ones they are in the one number one in the NFC right now, and getting ready for playoffs. We are not that far away from the playoffs. And let's break down the National Conference. Actually, with standings with the Packers with 9-3, with the one tie, with a percentage of 7.731, PF of 322, and 247 PA. Okay, and yes, Keyshawn Nixon actually did have the seal the win with that interception in the end zone. And now I saw this on Jim Matamali. Yes, if that that could have been a tie, like the game could have tied if that was a touchdown and going to overtime, or you can give them the Packers a chance to go to the field and win that way. But let's me go into the box scores and see how well we broke it down. Caleb Williams was 19 for 35, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 1 for 9 in sacks. Jordan Love was 17 for 25, 234 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 1 interception with a 1.14 in sacks. Deshaun Swift had 13 carries for 63 yards. That was the most in rushing. For the Packers, it was Jacobs, 20 carries for 86 yards with the 1 touchdown. For receiving, let's see here. For the Packers, the highest yardage was Christian Watson's 4, receiving 80 for 89 yards and the 2 touchdowns that he had. And Bowman only got the 1 touchdown. Let's see here. For the Bears, they had actually number 14. I just see his number because I cannot pronounce the name correctly. I do apologize for that. Fumbles, yes, there were some fumbles. But only on the actually, yeah, just one, and that was Josh Blackwell of the Bears. But there was no loss in that one. Defense was pretty solid on both sides of the ball, but the Packers do need to work on getting more consistent. And Packers finally have a Super Bowl type defense. And we got a pretty good offense as well. And we have, let me see this up here. There we go. Let me see here. All right, I'm just comparing the numbers here. Mm-hmm. CJ Gardner-Johnson has a 1 interception for 28 yards. Keyshawn Nixon had 1 as well. Of course, that was the one that sealed the win. And yes, Jim, Matt, and Molly were there at the game. And yes, Matt had to wear Bears clothes. Thanks to Jim Willis being that fan that gave him the clothes because he lost a bet. And yesterday, if you didn't watch your Matt and Molly, Jim, with the Packers winning, that game, Jim Wells had to have his face painted Green Bay colors. And if you want to see a picture of that, I do have the screenshot of it. I will post that on my social media platforms a little later today. And let's see here. And with us going to a new year soon, won't be long before baseball will be picking back up. That's right. We're getting will be a little over another month before baseball players start to report back to camp for spring training. Of course, got NASCAR, like I said, will pick up. Golf will be getting ready again. You know, let's look into the ladies volleyball. We got looks like we got 4 matches tonight, this afternoon, and tonight. Creighton is taking on Arizona State at noon today on ESPN2. Now all these are on ESPN2. Cal Poly take on Kentucky at 2:30. Missouri, Minnesota takes on Pitt at 6, and at 8:30 Purdue will take on SMU, and that is the Women's Volleyball Championship Pittsburgh Series, Pittsburgh Regional. Let's see. Yes, WWE. Yes, and Gunther. That's right. Gunther is the final match. We'll be taking on John Cena in his retirement match on Saturday. I just hope he does not choke him out on Saturday, because I know he choked out Pat McAfee. I know he choked out Michael Cole. And because of those 2 chokeouts, he got to be disciplined for that. I just hope he does not do it on Saturday or with John Cena, especially with it being his final match of his career, with his in-ring career. What else? I got you in the boxing. We got a lot of boxing going on, I know. And yes, Stephanie McMahon is it's the first person that will get into the Hall of Fame this year for the WWE as well. And it looks like we got the UFC and WWE are coming together. The T-Mobile Arena stands a deal with the UFC as per other WWE events. I'm looking forward to this myself as well. I got to read more into this, and I'll put that out. It looks like Logan Paul sues Action Horse over MJ signed court. Okay, let's see here. That's one thing that's interesting to me is that YouTubers are getting involved YouTubers are getting involved in WWE. We got Logan Paul. We got Speed. I Show Speed getting involved. If you're a YouTuber and you're into the WWE wrestling and you go and you get involved in the matches, well, this is really show fans that anyone can get in the ring and take on a WWE wrestler. Well, that is how they put it in a way, but don't forget these wrestlers do put their body on the line. They injure themselves. They do have real injuries. Well, we're doing the wrestle. But anyway, we do gotta get back into it. Let's go. Gotta go get into it. Let's see. Okay, let's see here. We got, oh, okay, here's something we definitely got to talk about. Philip Rivers coming back. That's right. Philip Rivers, age 44, coming back to play for the Colts the with the Colts starting QB. Daniel Jones out with an Achilles injury. We all know that with that injury, with him being out with the Achilles, he's out for the rest of the season. Maybe even going to next season even. So even if we get Rivers and keep him for the rest of this year, and playoff, in any playoff they get chances they have as well. And of course, still got here Ryan Leonard as well as a possibility, but I don't know sure about him. Oh, okay. I got some breaking news, everyone. Cal Schwarmer of the Philadelphia Phillies are finalizing a 5-year deal for $150 million contract for Jeff Passan, the NL MVP runner-up, one of the best home run hitters in the clubhouse leaders, is returning to Philadelphia. All right, that's good news for the Philadelphia Phillies. Okay. This is what I never need to call out Dan Orlovsky here because he's saying that Alabama should not have been into the playoffs, but Notre Dame should have been in. I bet you different. Look at the schedule. Look at the wins and the losses. Yeah, Bama has 3 losses: one to Georgia, one to Oklahoma. But that's all they had in losses in conference play. Yeah, they did lose to Florida State at the beginning of the season. But after that, they went on a run until they got to playing Georgia in the second game. Until they got to Oklahoma, and then Georgia in the SEC title game this past weekend. But I do want to know about Dan. I do want to definitely call out Dan Orlovsky on this. I definitely want to call Dan out on this for sure. Because Dano needs to get it straight. Okay, should we get it all out here? And oh yes, we definitely got to talk about the coaching situation in college football. The fact that Lewis coming out of LSU has rejoined the Rebels in the CFB1. And yes, I want to talk about Notre Dame football because yes, they were in. They did out of their ball game. They did not want to play their ball game. They would rather be in the playoff game than playing in a bowl game. And they said, no. We would rather play in the playoff, not just a by crash whatever bowl they were in. And yes, they have to deal with it. Because yes, I know they did not get in. They were the one of the two teams that were left that were out. See, think about the other one. And this is one thing I definitely want to bring up right here from last night. From Jim Harbaugh putting the Chargers' Monday night win in perspective. He says this. I put it into the discussion of the birth of my 7 children and my marriage. Why would you even that is an interesting thing. And yes, if you want to hear more on this, and you want Evan Cohen to check on it, make sure you listen to the podcast of Sportsmanlike, Evan Cohen, Chris Kinsey, Amy Show. This morning I was able to hear that one, the piece. But if you have not, make sure you go to the ESPN, either the ESPN Wisconsin app on demand, you listen to that back, or go to Apple Music or wherever you get your podcast to listen to the podcast version of Sportsmanlike. I will be doing that a little later on myself as well. It looks like the Eagles. All right, I'm just going here so I get more news. And it looks like Bruce Turang is being added to the roster for the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Way to go, bro. And my son Gary started off this year with 7.5 sacks in his first 7 games. And that sounds like he's having a breakout year. Okay, let's see here. Let me pull up my candidates for the Heisman Trophy candidates. Heisman Trophy. Finalist. There we go. All right, here we go. These are your finalists for the Heisman Trophy. We got out of the Indians quarterback Fernando Mendoza, quarterback David Polya of Vanderbilt. We got Ohio State's quarterback Julian Singh and Notre Dame's running back Juliana Jerusalem Love. I just go with Love there since I cannot say his first name correctly. So congratulations to the finalists, and may the best man win, and good luck to you all. And you know what we need to do? We need to go over this weekend's games for NFL. So let me pull that right on up. Okay, we start off Thursday night. Prime Video, 7:15. Buccaneers will take on the Falcons with a 4.5-point favorite. I'm going to go down to the Packers last. Next Monday on the 15th, we got the Dolphins Steelers at Pittsburgh. It's PM Monday night, 7:15. And yes, we know the Dolphins are currently now one game under 500. Can they get over? Can they upset Pittsburgh and get back to 500? They could, but I'm not sure. Aaron Rodgers is doing really well this year. In fact, let me see if I can pull up some stats on him. Let me see here. I mean, this is the best thing about having multiple devices is doing this. This is one thing about having ChatGPT to help. Aaron Rodgers stats. There we go. Yeah, this is what I love about having ChatGPT. Okay, James, he has 202 completions of 310. His rushing is 15 attempts for 26 yards, no touchdowns. See, this is according to ChatGPT that I got. Yeah, I gotta get more in depth on that. Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. And we'll talk about my Aaron Rodgers stats and more. We'll be right back. Pick up the doors. Oh, yeah. It's probably got the 20 here, but you can come out. Okay, thank you. All right, now we are back. If you want, let's go into, like I said, we're going to go right into Aaron Rodgers' stats going into the game. So, all right. Mm. All righty. Okay, here we go. Rodgers going into this week's game. He is his QBR is 62.6 with the comp percentage of 67.7 and his passer rating passing yards from this past week is 284. All right, total yards is 2,370, 20 touchdowns. Tied with is actually tied with 10th and tied at 78 with 68th with 7 interceptions with a 42.3 correct rating. That gives him 26th in QBRs. So that is Rodgers' stats from the past game. Going into this week's game. And yes, it is the holiday season for everyone who celebrates the holidays. Christmas time is here. The holiday cheer is being delivered. Iron Jock is the way to go. I wear my Iron Jock. You see me wear Iron Jock all the time. Holiday cheer delivered. 40% off Iron Jock gear plus a free pair of socks on orders over $100. All you need to use and check out is the code Christmas40. That's CHRISTMAS 40 for 40% off your order of $100 over $100 for your orders. So make sure you get yourself some Iron Jock today. And yes, if you listen and watch Rodian House, they have a little competition that they will have callers call in to win a Iron Jock tumbler. Yes. So if you want to win the tumbler, make sure you listen to Rodian House every day, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. till noon. For that, if you want to win a Iron Jock tumbler. And you got everything, even actually help you with your business. And yes, Iron Jack has state-of-the-art technology and real science. The real silver ion technology, which helps with the stink, active performance, and quality fit, is great when it's hot, great when it's cold. They got some new look at all. They do have a lot of new out. Some new. All right, sorry, my tongue is tied here. See here. They have a lot of new jackets. They have the quarter zip out. They have the lightweight hoodie out now, so make sure you get that, especially if you want to wear that during the summertime or even now with the winter here. You wear that underneath your layers as well. That is great about Iron Jack. You can wear as many layers as you want, and you still won't stink with that silver ion technology. And yes, I do endorse Iron Jack because I wear Iron Jack as well. And you can do Iron Jack awards. Become a loyal customer and you get a loyalty card. Sign up now. You can get points for every $10. You get points for discounts. For discount $10 for 100 points. So make sure you collect your points now. And yes, you can follow them on X. And you can earn 20 points there alone. So for you get 1 point per dollar for each $1 that you spend on Iron Jack. And if you're going to refer a friend, you can get a 10% off coupon. Or if you get a friend, or a friend gets it, you give it. So if you refer a friend, you get 10% off, and so does the friend as well. And that is definitely nothing. That's definitely something you gotta grab at, especially now with the Christmas holidays here. So make sure you do join the Iron Jack Loyalty Rewards program. I am a member myself, so make sure you do sign up. We have some hats, the beanies, we got socks, we got hats, we got towels, we got t-shirts, we got shorts, polos and shirts, we got pants, we got hoodies, jackets. We even have book bags, hats, duffel bags, even the beanie. So yes, and even a pair of pants, the jogger type. And yes, they have that light one. And yes, they also have clothing for not just men, but also for the ladies. And if you don't know what you want to get for your loved one, family member, or friend, yes, they do have Iron Jack gift cards. You can get from a $25 gift card to a $500 gift card for Iron Jack. So make sure you go to ironjack.com and use some Iron Jack today. You can follow them on social media. They're on Facebook, Instagram. They're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and more. So make sure you do follow them on the social media platforms and get your Iron Jack today. Okay, we got to get back into it, everyone. I hope everyone is enjoying their holiday so far. Okay, now let's see here. We got to go into. We're breaking down the college, actually the NFL games. Actually, so let's get back into that. Okay, Sunday night. Well, Sunday afternoon at 3:25, we got the Lions taking on the Rams on Fox. I think that's the game of the week, I believe. But I got to double check on that. And that also depends on where you live. The Panthers takes on the Saints, also at 3:25 in your area on Fox. So along with the Titans and the Niners of San Fran, the Colts will take on the Seahawks on CBS at 3:25. And yes, this was intriguing to me because I want to see if the Colts can bounce back. And will Philip Rivers be the quarterback, or would it be someone else? But it looks like for now it's going to be Philip Rivers, unless I hear anything else otherwise throughout the week. We've got the Eagles taking on the Raiders on Fox at noon. We all know that could be an easy win for the Eagles, with the Raiders only having the 2 wins in the season. So they could be one of the top 5 teams in next year's NFL draft. And if I'm correct, I believe that game that's going to be Philip Washington next week. Okay, we got the Giants at noon taking on the Commanders. Bears taking on the Browns. Can they rebound from last week's loss to the Packers for this week? Taking on the Browns at noon on Fox. The Cardinals will take on the Texans on Fox also at noon. Chargers, Chiefs. You have to check that out. Chiefs are favored by 4.5 points according to ESPN bet. And you have to be true on yes or to gamble. I suggest to drink, but I think it's gamble too. You gotta make sure you're true. At least 18 years old to gamble. Make sure, and if you want to gamble, if you're gambling and you want to, let me stop. Let me start there. So it's 12-point game favorite for Jackson, but it's 4.5 for Chiefs favored. If you want to place a bet with ESPN Gambler, with ESPN Bet, and you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions do apply. Jets will take on the Jaguars at noon. We got the Bengals and the Ravens also at noon. This one I'm going to come back in just a second to talk about. Vikings takes on the Cowboys, and that is the Sunday night game of the week. Dallas favored by 6 for the spread on NBC and Peacock. Okay, we got the Bills, Patriots. That one I'm definitely intrigued by for sure because, yes, the Patriots are 11-2. Dare I say that the Patriots make the playoffs, but not the Chiefs? That would be interesting to see. The Chiefs not going into the playoffs, and the Patriots does. That's definitely something that's definitely going to be talked about, and I imagine that will be talked about on eventually on Sportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Michelle Smallman, and Chris Katie. We also have the Packers taking on at 3:55 on CBS. We have Packers taking on the Broncos in Denver and Bo Nix. Yes, can Bo Nix, can they make this game? I see this game as a trap game to me. Because don't get you just last season when we took on the Broncos, it was a trap game. And yes, the Broncos did beat us that year. So yes, I am a little concerned going into this week's game. Because right now the Packers are riding high with the win this past weekend against the Bears. And then we get the Broncos for this week. To me, that can be some. It sounds like it could be a trap game, possibly. Especially with the following, we go back, we have the Bears again within a 2-week span. With the Bears this past weekend, we get the Broncos this week, and then the next week we get the Bears again at Soldier Field. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a roller coaster there. For sure. Okay, we should go into some power rankings. And we're going to start off with the This is NFL Week 15 power rankings of this year. Let's see how they take on. We got the Raiders at 1. No, actually, we got the Los Angeles Rams at number 1 with the 10th season. We got the Patriots at 2. We got the Seattle Seahawks at 3. You want me to check to see if this is accurate? Let me go to the ESPN one. But this is on ESPN app, so yeah, okay, I'll go back. 1 Rams, 2 Patriots, 3 Seahawks. The Broncos are at 4. Packers up at 5. Stays at 5 with the 9-3-1 record. Bills are 6, coming back up, climbing with the win over the Bengals 6-9 with the 9-4 season. San Fran stays at 7 with the 9-4, same with the Jags. With the 9-4 up 13 spots to 8. Eagles, yes, do drop with their loss to the Chargers last night in the overtime. Bears all down 2 spots with the 9-4 record with at number 10 after their loss to the Packers. The Lions are stays at 11, as well as Houston at 12 as well. The Chargers at 9-4. At 13, we got Steelers at 14 after the win over the Ravens. Cowboys 6-1 at 15. And dare I say at 16? Yes, it is. Kansas City Chiefs. After losing to the Texans 20-10. I know for sure that Travis Kelce is not joining this. And yes, it's hard to shake it off. It's hard for them to shake it off. Shake it off. And yes, 17, you got the Colts of Indianapolis at 5 record with their loss to the Jags. Past weekend. The Panthers stays at 18. They had a bye week. The Ravens of Baltimore are 19 with a 6-7 record. Tampa Bay is now at 20 with the loss to the Saints by 24-20. And of course, they are 7-6. Miami's at 21 with the 6-7 record after their win over the Jets. Bengals 4-9. Yeah, the Bengals to me, they're not going to rebound. We all know Joe Bolt went down on his tough toe and been out for quite a while before start coming back. But I just know that there's no way he can come back and resurrect the Bengals season and turn it around completely and get on the winning side of it. I don't see it. I do not see it whatsoever. Minnesota was a 5-8 record. At 23, got at 24, got the Falcons with a 4-9 record, 3-10 record for those Commanders. At 25, got the Cardinals of Arizona 26, 3-10 for the Saints. So I think these are the ones that are going to be tied for the top seeds of the next year's draft. The Saints 27, the Browns at 28, 29. We got Giants, and then we got the Jets at 31, and then the Titans at 31, and then Raiders at 32. So let me look at these teams first, and then let me see how this order is going to look like first. So it'll start off with the team that has like 1. Yeah, I don't see a team with just 1 win. So we go from there to the 2 wins. two wins only, and that right now is Raiders, Titans, and Giants. So those three will be the first three, I believe, going forward for the top pick of the draft. Of course, we got a couple more weeks left on the NFL, so we'll see how that shakes up. And I think once we find out, well, as we get towards the end of the season, we'll see who will get that number one overall pick in next year's NFL draft. And yes, I will do my NFL draft special again next season as well. Oh yeah, that's right. One other thing we got to do is go into the final AP poll for college football. The final AP poll has come out this past weekend, this past Sunday, with the selection show this past Sunday in college football. Boy, I saw that already. How about we look at some power? Yeah. Let's see here. Okay, let me just make sure. I'm just gonna fact check myself here. All right. These are the power rankings that I got according to ESPN. It's basically the same. Watching the Rams, Eagles, Colts, then the Broncos. Then we got the Bills, Seahawks, Lions, Niners, Buccaneers, Packers, Bears, Chiefs, Chargers, Ravens, Steelers, 16, then the Jags 17, Panthers 18, Houston 19, Vikings 20, Dallas Cowboys 3-1, Miami, Bengals 3-3. Yeah, I just to make sure I get all right. I obviously do. Okay. And of course, we know what next year, when we get into the next year, when we get into January, that's right, January, February, March. That's right, we are not far away from March Madness. March Madness will be coming pretty soon, everyone, so make sure you have the brackets printed out and ready to go. I don't have mine ready to go. And yes, I will be doing daily lives for the March Madness going forward, as well as all my other shows on a daily basis. Especially once I do doing that here and doing that ESPN Radio. Madison, yes, I will be doing my next episode with my first guest on at the ESPN Radio studios. Be mid-January. Yes, my guest is Evan Cohen of Unsportsmanlike. You know him from Unsportsmanlike with Chris Casey and Michelle's Moment as well. And if you want to hear in Wisconsin this past couple of weeks back when the Badgers took on Illinois, that's when Michelle's Moment along with Evan came to the Badger game, went to the two other facilities. Michelle then got to try some really interesting Wisconsin cuisines. And yes, it did come to the ESPN Radio, ESPN Radio Madison's tailgate. I couldn't make it because I was in visiting my girlfriend's family for the holiday. But Michelle's moment, I hope you had a great time. And hey, I'm looking forward to meeting you in New York. So I will be coming to New York with me and my girlfriend Kayla. We're gonna be doing I'll be doing some live episodes in New York coming up, especially when the NBA gets closer to once the NBA gets to the playoffs, the regular season, as well as the playoffs, and of course the finals and the draft as well. Yes, I'll be doing that as well with lives. I'll be going live in New York as well at the NFL draft, at the NBA draft as well. And I'll be doing lives for the NFL draft coming up next year. Yes, I'll be doing a lot of lives at within the Radio World area. I just got to get my credentials set up first, and I will be doing that. And I'll give you updates on that if I can if I'm not able to get them for some reason. Well, don't worry, I will get those. Okay. We're going to take one last commercial break and we'll wrap up the show. So we'll be right back after these messages. And yes, we'll be right back. We'll be back on the other side. Not yet. Thank you for being patient with me on that commercial break. Don't worry, once I'm doing stuff at the ESPN Airline Solar Studios in Madison, we'll be doing it. Have it better when I go to commercial breaks. We have the state of the art equipment. But for now, let's get right back into the swing of it. We do have to talk about. Let me see if there's any college football news coming through. Any other news? Okay, looks like Alabama will be taking on Arizona and the CM Newton Classic tonight on the 13th of this month on ESPN. So make sure you watch that one if you're a Bama fan or a Arizona fan, Arkansas fan if you as well. So yes, we have. And this is one of the best things about having your own personal sports center on your phone. Everything that you want. You know what? We should look at this. We should look at the NCAA men's hockey. Okay, we're gonna get the one game tonight with Providence and Brown going at it in the Mayor's Cup at 6:00 tonight on ESPN Plus. Okay, we don't have a lot of games until Friday. So Friday we got a slate of games. Alaska, you got Union. You know, I don't see many good schools here. Really, at least ones like about Wisconsin or a Minnesota or anything like that. For some reason, I don't know why I don't. But let me go. Let me do it this way. Oh, how about some lady hoops, folks? Okay, Alabama. Right here, let's go to update. Baylor is up 53-17 right now against Baylor State, and that game's on halftime on ESPN Plus right now. Okay, this is the part of the show we're going to go through all the news that have been broken in the last days, several days, 9 hours, according to their insiders. We got Sean Swania is the senior NBA insider, and he has reported in the last day Orlando Magic star France Wagner has sustained a high left ankle sprain. Sources tell ESPN and Shams himself. A typical injury like this is basically they're saying 2 to 4 weeks for his injury for recovery. They said have an MRI today, as of yesterday, that it is, on non-structural damage on his left leg, which is helpful. And yes, Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, known as the Greek Freak, has been sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks with that calf strain. So that's what I have within the last day to last 5 as well. And of course, Giannis, talking about Giannis's future with the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, how much on this one? For the insider for college. Heather, a few much of that. Okay, according to Alan Collins, the senior NHL insider, we have within the last day, Looks like the Commissioner Bill Daley told the NHL owners on Monday, yesterday, he didn't believe the construction issues of the Olympic rink were unmentionable, not well used. And the arena is scheduled to be finished by the 2nd of February. So that's we go with that one. If the players feel like the ice is unsafe to play, they were not going to play. As simple as that, basically. So if they're not safe for that ice, then they're not going to be playing at all. They just need to have how one is safe. Hey, I know about safe ice because I'm my friend Matt Hamilton and his sister Becky Hamilton are USA Curling. Of course, there's a different type of ice that they use versus hockey ice. But anyway, closer. Okay, this is Connor Jet passing the Jet. Looks like the Dodgers are making a move again. In agreement with closer Edwin Diaz, they got an agreement for a 3-year deal for $69 million contract. Sources tell ESPN the Dodgers who were targeting bullpen help this winter, which they're still doing, I believe, got the best closer on the market, setting a new AAV record for relievers. Ooh, and of course, Kyle Schwarber is now the Philly. Of course, I would have brought that up earlier. Let's see here. Oh, yes, of course, this one is we're not going to bring up. Joe Kent was elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame by the committee, Baseball Era Committee. He will be inducted in July, along with Billy Bonds, Roger Clemens, and Don McGreeny and Dale Murphy, and 3 others who did not receive significant votes as well. That one. Okay, some trade talks 5 days back with the Washington Red Sox. See how quiet left-hander John, I think say John, I spell it out, Obiedo. I cannot pronounce it correctly. I do apologize for that. And deal, they'll send the outfielder back to the Pistons, to the Pirates with a 5-player trade. Okay, I'll go straight to Thermal, then I'll go to Schefter. Okay, East Carolina, according to Pete Thermal, East Carolina offensive coordinator John David Baker is heading to Ole Miss as the offensive coordinator. Of course, supposed to say ESPN, ACU. Officials have been informed he's expected to take that job. CBS is the first to report that. Virginia Tech is expected to hire Penn State's offensive coordinator and tight ends coach Ty Howell as his school's new offensive coordinator. He is expected to be the school's play caller as well. Harry has been with Penn State for the last 5 years, including the 22 season, which he worked as Tyler's Warren's position coach. So basically, Penn State is bringing a lot of their, with James Franklin being the head coach for Virginia Tech. Yes, he is. And I knew he was going to do this for a fact, that he was going to bring a lot of his coaching staff from Penn State over to Virginia Tech. I knew it for the get-go that when he got that job at Virginia Tech, that I figured he will be bringing a good amount of his own coaches from Penn State over to Virginia Tech. So it looks like Virginia Tech will be well coached, but now Penn State needs to play cleanup and hire the new coordinators that will no longer be at Penn State, which will be at Tech. So that's definitely going to be following up on as well. And according to our shelter, okay. This is just 4 minutes ago. I got an update. According to experience sources, the 44-year-old Philip Rivers, who has not played in the NFL since COVID of 2020. That's right. It's been 5 years since Philip Rivers took a snap. And now he is signing with the Indianapolis Colts practice squad. Of course, he can start there first and then eventually get up to the starting position of the quarterback. Of course, that'll take a couple of days before they do. And of course, they got to give him a physical. Because like I said, it's been 5 years since he took his last snap. And that was a COVID year. So who knows? I mentioned they will have to give him a COVID test as well. You don't know COVID still out there, even though it's not as bad as it used to be 5 years ago when he took his final snap. Also, of course, with Daniel out for the year, Larry Leonard is going to be week to week with a strained knee ligament. And that's the other reason why they got Philip Rivers will work out. And yes, it looks like he's going to have a workout today as well, according to the NFL Network reporting. And yes, Philip Rivers' birthday is today, so that is a good thing. Happy 44th birthday, dude. That's definitely a good sign for him. Looks like the Buccaneers of Tampa Bay has signed their offensive OLB, Jason Pierre-Paul, who has not played since 2023 for the Dolphins, to their practice squad per source from 2018 to 21. So that was basically post-COVID to COVID era. Chiefs line left tackle Wayne Morse suffered a season-ending knee surgery this past Sunday night against the Titans. So yes, looks like his season is done with. Okay, we're gonna call it quits for now. I'll redo some more of these a little later. Until later on this week, my next live, and go to get my Salad Sports Shorts. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Make sure you follow me on all those platforms. And yes, I do have a link tree on that app, on those apps. So you can get all on one click on the link tree as well. Until next time, I am Sadler of the Pat McAfee Show as well as the Denver Sports Show. Until then, everyone, let's have a great football weekend. See y'all next time. Yes. Have a good one, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your football week. 15. Week 15. Let's get it going. See you next time. Okay. See y'all next time, everybody. Enjoy the week, and I'll see you.